has been an athlete that can say they've gone through a 4-year period without having any illness, any sickness, any injuries. And actually the strength of character and the strength of what I would say the great athletes are is how they respond to those hard times. And I've had some pretty hard times. Another way, it seems to all happen out in South Africa. When I was diagnosed with diabetes, of going out to South Africa on a training camp, we were doing land-based training, and I was coming a long way behind everybody else on the road cycling. I was coming in half an hour behind everybody else. On the rowing machines, my performance was 10-15 minutes slower than anybody else. But the fact was, is actually of thinking that, yeah, I've got diabetes. It does seem to be affecting my consistency, which I prided myself on at that time. And you sort of think you can get through it, but it actually grind me down so much where I felt that it wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to be able to carry on. I was proving it session after session that I wasn't the athlete that I was before. And so eventually you sort of decide that that's it, you've got to call it a day. I remember phoning home, speaking to my wife who wanted me to retire 4 years earlier, and expecting her to say, "Oh, come on, then get on the flight and come on home." I got a totally different attitude. Is that being an athlete herself and also a doctor, is that saying that we'll find a solution, we'll find a way through. It took a period of months before we started coming back. But actually, between each those sessions, when I was out there on the bike, and the group had left me and I was out there cycling on my own, I was just thinking I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to get off my bike. My career wasn't going to end at that point. I was going to finish that training session. And then I was going to get back to the hotel. I was going to pack my bags, go to the airport. That was it. But I was going to have the pride of finishing that training session. You get back, collapse on your bed, think about it for a few minutes and think, well, I actually completed that. Perhaps I can get through the next session on the rowing machine. And this is how quickly the mind could work. It takes less than 2 seconds to do a stroke on a rowing stroke cycle on a rowing machine. And in those 2 seconds, you're thinking, I've actually had it, I can't do any more. You think, well, I can do one more stroke. I'll just do one more and then I'll stop. You do one more stroke. You think, well, I've done that, perhaps I can do another one. And you're on there for an hour and 15, 20 minutes of going through that process. Then you convince yourself, right, I can get through this session, but once this session's over, I'm going home. This is it. This is just ridiculous. And then you complete it, you go back to your room, thinking, well, perhaps I can do the next session.